Good morning, Texoma. I'm Ashley Fitzwater. Thanks for joining us. This morning, we're taking an inside look at Hangar Holiday. Now that Halloween's behind us, it's time to start thinking about the holidays. And to help get you in the Christmas spirit, of course, we have the annual Shepherd Officer Spouses Club's Hangar Holiday. It's the 27th year for this annual event. It's all taking place November the 17th and 18th at the Impact. It's a big event. It's free to you, and it all benefits such a wonderful cause. We want to welcome our guest this morning. Joining us, we have Lee Whiteman. She is the president of the Shepherd Officer Spouses Club. And we also have Ron Bryant, who is the chairman of the Scholarship Committee. So welcome both of you here this morning. Can you describe this awesome event that's put on every year in Texoma?
Sure. Hangar Holiday is actually, it used to be on base, and that's hence the name, Hangar Holiday. And we've recently moved downtown. We moved to the MPEC, and that's where we're going to be again this year. I think that's a sentiment of how we're able to just pick up and move anywhere, and it was a success last year, and I think this year is going to be even better. This is our 27th year doing Hangar Holiday.
It's connected to Shepherd Air Force Base. As we mentioned, the Officer Spouses Club who puts this on. Why is it so important to continue doing this for our community?
Well, it's so important because it's one of our largest fundraisers. We actually have two. The Shepherd Officer Spouses Club is titled SOSC. It's easier to say. We have two large fundraisers. One is Hangar Holiday, and then we also have a thrift shop that we run and operate on Shepherd Air Force Base. Those two sources of income we're able to give out in scholarships and local donations to charities downtown.
Wow. So it stays right here in the community
yes,
then, a lot of that money, which is a great thing. The scholarships and the importance of that and who it benefits, can you tell everyone at home?
Well, it benefits family members of anyone assigned, attached, or retired from Shepherd Air Force Base. Not just children, but spouses as well. In addition to the scholarships, last year we also funded about $6,000 in donations to local nonprofits. So the benefit that we get from Hangar Holiday goes far beyond just the scholarships. We try to be engaged with the entire community, and that's what the Hangar Holiday and the thrift shop raise money to support.
It's a pretty awesome thing, and there's a lot of new things. It's bigger and better this year. Can you tell us how?
Well, it keeps getting bigger and better, and hopefully next year it'll be even bigger. What we did this year is we also contracted the sunrooms that are in the Impact. Last year it was just the main room, but now we have those sunrooms, which gave us about an additional 30 booths, and we're still, believe it or not, trying to cram in some people in there because we have a good
that many vendors just pouring in.
Yep.
What do you think that says about this event?
It's very impressive to me. This is actually my first year involved with Shepherd Officer Spouses Club. But I was very impressed when I first took this position over. I had no idea the lengths that we went to, and it's really endearing to know that just a bunch of wives got together, and now husbands as well. Yes. We used to actually be titled the Officers' Wives Club, and now we're the Officers' Spouses Club.
It's amazing to see what just one group, though, can really do here in our community, as you mentioned. We want to talk a little bit about Hangar Holiday in more detail. This is open to the public. In fact, this is what it's for. We're encouraging the public to come. What is the day, though? They're going to walk in and see how many vendors?
They're going to see about 230 vendors, depending on a few people were actually just given a table rather than a booth because they might not have so much of a commodity to give away. Maybe they have a service. They just want to let Wichita Falls know that they're here. So they just might have a little table, but about 230.
And whenever you're coming through, what are the different things you're going to be able to see or purchase or buy?
Boy, well, we definitely have pictures with Santa. We have pictures in a flight suit, so that gives it a little bit of the military feel. Even though we're not quite attached to Shepherd Air Force Base, we're there, and we want to let the community know that this still is kind of a military event.
Sure.
And then there's going to be baked goods. Our ESC, actually, who's our Enlisted Spouses Club, we've given them a booth, so they're going to have baked goods there. We're going to have some food vendors this year. That's a change from last year, so people can look forward to that. And that's another thing that hopefully we're going to get the word out that we're allowed to have some booster clubs who are nonprofits from Shepherd. Some of them are allowed to actually have a food booth this year, which is different from last year. So hopefully we get the word out next year even more and have more food vendors. To get in the door, it's absolutely free, and that's what we want to kind of push to the local community. We want them to know that it's a free event. What we're really trying to do is just fuse the local community with the base.
I love that. So come out. If nothing else, you can just look around and look at all the neat things and get some cool ideas. Now, there is something, though, that's connected with walking through the door.
There will be a canned food drive. We'll have a Boy Scout troop there to collect canned goods, and people are welcome to make donations any number of times, anything. No perishable foods, but canned goods or boxed foods. We will also have donation jars there for our scholarship fund. So if anyone would just like to make a donation, feel free to do so.
Yeah.
And but other than what they are selling, there's no expense involved. So, and one thing that we learned last year that was really nice, many people hesitated to come to Hangar Holiday and fight their way through security at the base. Since we've moved to the impact, the Texoma community has really responded. Now that they don't have to worry about trying to get on the base, they're coming out in ever larger numbers. We had a huge turnout last year, and we're anticipating a large turnout this year.
Do you know about how many people came through? Was there an estimate?
We do. We have door counters at the front door, so it can get a little confusing. I'm sure they maybe missed a few or double counted a few, but our total count was approximately 14,000.
Wow, 14,000. And, you know, I've been, so there are a lot of people there, but you're right. Having this new location, there's more room, it seems, and also parking. I think it really helps because there's the large parking lot out there in front of the MPEC, and that is where it's all taking place, at the MPEC in Wichita Falls. Free parking, of course, free to get in the door, so no charge to you. Come out and check it out. We need to take a quick break, but we are not done talking about Hangar Holiday, not only how it affects you and your family, but also much more on how it's impacting the community in such a positive way. So stick around, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Inside Texoma. Once again, we are talking about the Hangar Holiday put on by Shepherd Air Force Base, the Shepherd Officers Spouses Club to be exact. It's all taking place November the 17th and 18th. News Channel 6 is also going to be there. We're going to have a booth there. And speaking of the vendors and the other booths really quickly, you had talked a little bit about some different things you can see, but what types of things do you think is kind of the focus?
It's a bunch of Christmas arts and crafts, which is the best kind of thing for me. Personally, that's what I enjoy the most. You get unique items that you wouldn't be able to find anywhere else. Hopefully we have enough people from the Wichita Falls area that we all kind of we will have the same holiday decorations. But the great thing about the military is we move so much. So you can take that with you and you can show other friends that you encounter along the way, and then you can let them know what it is. And the best thing for me, just being involved with the Shepherd Officer Spouses Club, is I'm just so impressed by what these women do. And although it started many years ago, this is the 27th year, it's still a lot of work for our committee. And I would like to thank our committee, actually, because these women put blood, sweat, and tears into it. So I just want to let them know that it's all appreciated.
I bet. How many would you say make up this committee?
Some of our meetings are weekly. They've turned into weekly now. We started it kind of in the summer, and that's when we change over our membership. So June was when our board members took over, so we're new from June, and it was a very large endeavor to learn everything that goes into the Shepherd Officer Spouses Club. And you might think, oh, it's just a club, but it's really amazing what these women and men do. But because it's a volunteer base, we never are able to say, this is what you need to do, this is your job this year. So we really have to hope that someone steps up for us. And last year, it was toward the end of the year, and we were a little nervous that we might not get anyone that wanted to take on Hangar Holiday this year, but we actually had Kathy Silknetter, who wasn't able to be here today, but she's kind of running the committee. And we have about 10 probably steadfast.
That's not that many,
positions.
though.
It's not. It's really not. So we feel it a lot, but it comes together beautifully.
And that is impressive, you know, and something I think is neat to share with Texoma. Here you have a group of 10 plus people, you know, really making this event that brings in 14,000 people last year, hopefully even more this year, you know, putting this on. So that is impressive. What about for you? What's the best part about Hangar Holiday? What do you look forward to every year?
Well, I look forward to the different vendors. really enjoy watching all the kids, especially watching them run around and picking out Christmas presents. Mommy, I want this. Mommy, I want that. You hear a lot of that. The surprise on their faces when they see that Santa's there and they get a chance to talk to him. But what I really enjoy is when we sit down after it's all over and decide how much we'll be able to give out in scholarships in the coming year. And that's fun for me.
Because, you know, you are the chairman of that committee. Last year, how many people benefited from this scholarship-wise?
Well, we gave out a dozen scholarships last year, totaling about $20,000. There were 5 high school graduates and 7 spouses that received scholarships. And this is the first year that we've actually given more scholarships to spouses than we gave to high school students. We have a pretty rigorous screening process. The scholarship applications are available online now for anyone that would like to go online. It's a little easier than our name. It's shepherdosc.org. And there are 3 different types of scholarships available. One's for high school students, one's for spouses, and one is for kind of a catch-all category of continuing education. That might be a high school student who's a junior or a senior and has not received a scholarship in the past, or someone who's going back to school for their master's degree. So the application deadline is the 15th of March of 2013, so there's plenty of time to get it in. We just won't know until after Hangar Holiday is over how many scholarships we'll actually give out and how many applications we'll have.
So how is the money raised in? Because if it's free to get in, then people may wonder, well, then how can I help? How can I help make does that go back to the donations?
Well, you can make donations. There's also a fee for the vendors.
Okay.
So,
the more people that come in,
the more people that come, the more people that buy, the better the vendors do.
Sure.
And of course, they cover the fee that they pay for their booth. And also, as Lee mentioned before, we have the thrift shop on base, and a portion of the profits made by the thrift shop also go into the scholarship fund. And then in addition to that, of course, as I mentioned earlier, we gave out about $6,000 to local nonprofits last year also out of that same fund. So it's always an exciting time. It seems early in the year, the 17th and 18th of November, but people walk in the door, they see all the decorations, and most of the booths are decorated. So people get almost instantly in the Christmas spirit, and you can see it when they come out. So it's fun just to watch people. That's a great people watching place.
Yeah. Well, I believe the next weekend is Thanksgiving and Black Friday, which officially kicks off the shopping season anyway. So get a leg up, huh?
Yeah.
Start a weekend early and get some of that Christmas shopping out of the way. And while you're doing it, like you mentioned, you're helping by spending your money at these vendors, which a lot of them, as you mentioned, are local vendors. And
we actually have a lot from across the nation. We're actually on a website. I just learned it a few days ago. I got an email to the Shepherd Officer Spouse's email, and it said, please just double check this information. I want to make sure that it's all correct for it's a nationwide craft show search. And we were actually the only one in the Texoma community. So for Wichita Falls, it was the only one on there. So that's impressive for us.
Bringing more dollars to our community when they all come and stay in hotels and eat at the restaurants. So it's a good thing. It's definitely a good thing. Well, you know, one other quick thing, and I just have to say this because we see Santa Claus on his tie, of course, and so Santa Claus, we mentioned it a little bit earlier, but the kids can go see him for free, of course. He's going to be there. Take them over there, let them say hi, tell them their Christmas list that they're already making, and you can snap some photos with him as well. Now, where will he be? So parents can know now where they need to start looking when they walk in.
He's moved a couple times, actually. This booth has moved a little bit, so we're still not set in stone, but hopefully he's going to be toward the back of the main room in the MPEC, so where the hangar doors are. And I'm sorry, where the rolling doors are.
Yes.
And we're hoping to have some sort of map when you first walk in. That way it can be a little helpful to see which vendors are where.
And I noticed in the past years, you all had shirts or aprons or something on, correct?
Yes.
So they need to just look for those and they can ask, I'm sure.
Yes. And this year we're actually going to have a table set up that's right outside of the
Okay.
MPEC main room. So that way I hope that it gives a little more information on what we do and what it's for, rather than people just coming in and knowing that it's a free event and not really knowing where any donation might go to. And as we said that the vendors we charge them a booth fee, we don't charge them anything else. So all their proceeds made are completely to them. So for us, we just have the booth fee rentals and then any donations that we do get.
But the more people who come in and the more you buy, the more vendors you can encourage to continue growing and making more money for these scholarships.
Absolutely.
So, what a great thing. We need to take another quick break, but we're going to talk about entertainment, because not only are there vendors, there's lots of entertainment, so you don't want to miss that. Stick around. We'll be right back with more.